I'm Ettaro. You're watching charlottenowtelevision
Live from the Sunflower Club
in beautiful Mint Hill, North Carolina. And we are live yet again from the lovely Sunflower Club in beautiful Mint Hill, North Carolina. Cute little suburb of the Charlotte city proper. We're, about 9 miles from right downtown, right? Wonderful people here, and we are having a blast. My name is Sam Ettaro. We do this every Friday, and the focus of this particular series is the not-for-profit community. So what we try to do is put the spotlight on people that are operating through not-for-profit entities to make the community the wonderful place to live and do business that we know that it is. And today we are excited to introduce you to our first guest of the day. And I say first because we've got a lot coming in. So you want to say howdy, Jessica Burns. Welcome to Charlotte Now Live at the Sunflower Club.
Well, howdy, guests. Hey, Sam. Thank you so much for having us today. We're so pleased to be here, like you said, in this beautiful cafe that we are so blessed to have in our community. We are here today with one of our members. She is from, can you remind me, Terry?
I joined in 1978. Yes.
So our club is getting ready to celebrate our 50th anniversary next year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we started in 1974. And we thought it would be really special to start off with one of our original members, Terry.
That's awesome. Let's lay a little bit of background about the club. You say you started in 1974. Now, I think, I've never been involved with a women's club before, so, right, surprise. These days, though, you never know, right? So, I have a question for you.
Okay.
A lot of people might be watching this and might be going, okay, women's club, they get together, they have tea, it's a social club, right? But that's not simply the case. You do have social events and whatnot, but you are here in service to the community, right? And that's what we want to focus on. What are y'all doing to make this area the wonderful place to live that it is? And how are you helping families and engaging your community? So talk to us a little bit about the history. Do you want to start, or would you like to start?
What was the history?
All right, let's go ahead and have a conversation. Tell us about the history of the club and some of the milestones along the way. That would be great. There you go.
1974 was the beginning. It was the Farmwood Women's Auxiliary. And Farmwood was a small community just being built in tiny little Mint Hill. 50 years ago, it was pretty much unknown. And so the people that were new in the community, building their houses, wanted to get together, and it was quickly decided that it would be a service organization as well as a social organization. So immediately they started doing small things to collect money to give back to the community. And one of the first things that they began to do was a craft auction. So every year we would gather together for months and months and months and make crafts and have a live auction to make money. And then in the spring, we would do an attic sale to make more money, and eventually card parties and all sorts of things to collect money to give back to the community. The Mint Hill Mint Hill Ambulance and the fire department were always volunteer organizations, so we gave back to them. We promoted the Mint Hill Library, gave them many, many books. We provided equipment for the parks, playground equipment for the kids and benches and things like that for our park. And Mint Hill Athletic Association to give scholarships to kids to play games that their parents might not be able to afford. And then we also had cultural events. We like to get together once a month to go maybe downtown Charlotte and explore, or do tour of homes. And that was something that we did in the community. People in the community would open up their houses and we would tour at Christmas, and we would go on the Mint Museum tour of homes and just find all sorts of cultural things to go visit during the year. And we would always give scholarships. First, we gave scholarships to Independence High School seniors to go to college, and then when Butler High School was built, we added Butler High School, and that has evolved over the years to giving scholarships to CPCC students, and it has been a lifesaver to a lot of kids over the years. So it went from Farmwood Women's Auxiliary to Farmwood Women's Club. And eventually, a lot of our people started moving out into the surrounding area, so we called it Farmwood Friends and Neighbors, and that now has evolved to the Mint Hill Women's Club because it covers the whole area. And it was fun. We used to do Easter egg hunts for the kids and just all sorts of fun activities.
And now we have Jessica on board, yeah? Tell us about your involvement. When did you decide to get involved with this, and how did you end up becoming president of the club? Thank you, by the way, for the wonderful history lesson, and hopefully we can talk about what we have going on here currently. That would be great. So catch us up. Who is Jessica Burns? When did you become president of the club? And let's talk about what that entails. You know, it sounds like you got a lot going on. You've had a lot going on. And this is a pretty big endeavor, right?
Right.
Talk to us.
All right. So I joined the Mint Hill Women's Club. My first meeting was February of 2021. And I had been in Mint Hill for 9 years at that time. And I really wasn't that involved in the community. So I found out that they were having a meeting, and I attended, and it just so happened that they were talking about their new board coming up for the upcoming year. So at the end, they asked if there were any questions, and I raised my hand and said, well, how long's the commitment? And they said, oh, just a year. And so at the end, a couple ladies approached me and said, are you interested in, being on the board? And I said, well, sure. What's open? And they said, president. I said, oh, okay. Well, let me pray about that.
How'd that work out for you?
Hey, it's been great.
Did the clouds open up and the good Lord said, all right, this is your calling. Walk forth, young lady. That's exactly what happened, isn't it?
Yes, of course.
All right.
And so I came back and said, sure, I'll do it. And then a week later, I found out I was pregnant. So.
Oh, my. Yeah, that's a huge commitment. I mean, you're starting a family and you just bit off this big commitment, right?
Right.
Wow. How'd all that pan out?
It's been great. Yeah. So I've seen the Mint Hill Women's Club grow as I've seen my little baby grow.
Aww.
And now she's 13 months old and everything's great.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is an amazing story. Myself, I have a 24-year-old. So, been there, done that. I remember those days really like it was yesterday. It's incredible how time flies, right? Wow. So let's talk about running the club. I really want people with the show to get to know our guests, right? I mean, it's wonderful. We'll talk about what's happening in the community and all that stuff, but let's talk about the nuts and bolts of this too, because I think a lot of people that may not be engaged with such organizations, or maybe have never stepped into a space of leadership with such organizations, don't really know what it takes to fulfill that commitment, right? Would you not agree?
All right.
Yeah. Well, talk to me a little bit about that. What is it like, and what's involved with running a women's club like this?
Well, all the ladies here in the club today could probably answer that question. Terry has been the president, Marilyn back there, and Andre. All three have been past presidents.
Ladies, come on over here real quick. Come on over here real quick. We'll pull up the overhead cam. Check this out. And see that camera up there in the corner? Yeah. That camera's capturing us. So just real quick, turn around and say hello, hello. Hello, hello. These are the ladies that she's talking about, and we are going to go ahead and bring them on one at a time to talk as well. So give us a few minutes here. I just wanted you to say hi real quick. Okay. Let me see. I think.
Paige McKinney.
Oh, there you. She's on camera too. Oh, there's Paige. Paige, come on over here. I'll pull up the over. You can see the overhead cam up there. So just turn around there and wave and say hello. And there's Amy Sue, our wonderful host here at the Sunflower Club. Hey, yeah, grab a bunch of pictures. Nice. Some shameless self-promotion. All right. So, hey, look, this is all about building community, right? And one of the things that impressed me and continues to impress me about the Sunflower Club is how this has become a hub for good people making this area a great place to live. You know, I've come in here, and in the past 3 weeks doing these podcasts, I've met more people. Hi, I'm with this not-for-profit. I'm with that not-for-profit. I'm working here, doing this, doing that, doing the other thing to help build this community and to help support this community. And that seems to be very clearly what's happening here at the Sunflower Club. That's Amy Sue's place in the community, right? So as we were discussing, and we'll hear from all of our other guests here, fill us in again on the day-to-day and the importance of community and helping you, the importance of working together, and what you see happening here with the Sunflower Club. Let's promote Amy Sue a little bit.
Yeah.
So what's involved with running a women's club?
Well, it's really about connecting with other nonprofits and small businesses here in Mint Hill and finding out where the needs are in the community. That's one of our biggest goals, is to help as much people as possible. So people like Amy Sue here at the Sunflower Cafe, we can partner with her and find out, because she's really tapped into who needs what and how we can help. And so we'll reach out to Amy Sue and find out what she needs, whether it be gas cards or food for some of the families here in Mint Hill. And then she's also very good, as well as Paige at the Chamber, of connecting us with other organizations that might need volunteers, such as Independence High School. So it's a big thing, just partnering with others and connecting and finding out what the needs are.
So networking.
Right.
Yeah. And let's talk about that. Mint Hill, the metro area, for those of you that don't know, like most metro areas, Charlotte is gigantic. And as far as the actual land mass, the square mileage of the city is huge. The city is the county. So, and it's made up of these very distinct, smaller communities. How many people live in Mint Hill? How big is the Mint Hill community? Maybe you can tell us. Do you have an idea?
Somewhere between 25 and 30,000 now.
Okay, so a mid-sized town, right? Small city, I guess you would say.
But unknown. I mean, people in the county still don't know where Mint Hill is. People that live in Huntersville, they'll say, Mint Hill? What's that? So we think it's... It's a hidden gem.
Go out east. It's on the east side, right? It's on the east side of Charlotte. Mint Hill is part of the east side of Charlotte. I get that. So the needs in this community are going to be distinctly different than maybe a need on the northwest side of the city, of course. Let's talk about the needs that you all are identifying in this lovely little community and what you're doing to address those needs. So would you like to go ahead and change out our guest spot here and have somebody else jump in? You want to jump in?
I think Marilyn would be a great one for that. She is actually our service chair, and she plans all kind of things for us and keeps us really busy. So she'll be a great person to ask.
Okay, fabulous. And while she's having a seat there, we'll go ahead and get the camera set. There we go. All right. So, Marilyn,
Yes.
introduce yourself if you would, please, and let's talk about what you do as the service chair.
Okay, my name is Marilyn Fargo, and I joined the club about 12 years ago. I moved here 13 years ago from Buffalo, New York, and I was an elementary middle school teacher for 30 years. And when I retired, I said I want to go someplace south and where it's warm. And my family started moving down here, so that's what brought me to Charlotte.
I'm from that area.
Oh,
Yeah. I was born in Erie. I still have family up in the Buffalo area, and was adopted into a family in central Pennsylvania. So, lake effect snow.
yes.
They don't have it here in Charlotte. I'm loving that. Oh my God! If I
Snow
never
and
have to go out and shovel
yes.
out 3 feet of
And that
snow again in my
coming
life.
into your windshield, you can't see anything but white. It's hard to explain unless you've experienced it.
Oh, yeah, white out. Well, tell us
Yes.
a little bit about why Charlotte, right?
Yes.
What you feel about the Charlotte metro area, your affinity toward the people of Mint Hill, and let's find out, like you said, let's dig a little deeper, some of the needs that you all are uncovering and what you're doing about it.
Okay. Why Mint Hill? We would visit my brother and his children for 5 or 6 years as they started to move down here. And we said, what better place to go than a place that our family is already established in? And we started to love it. And so we said, when we retire, we're going to come down to Charlotte and, do our retirement, have the great weather, sunshine almost every day, which you never see in the winter months in Buffalo, and just enjoy the community. So then when I got more involved with the Women's Club in the Mint Hill area, I saw what a close community it was and how many nonprofits work together and, trying to help each other. They weren't competing against each other, they were helping each other. And Paige from the Chamber of Commerce, she was a big influence for our club. She really got us started and told us what some of the needs are in the community and how we can help them. So now as a service chair, I do whatever I can. When I talk to people in the community or I go to the chamber meetings or I go to our Mint Hill Women's Club meetings, we have members that own businesses, mostly nonprofits, and I talk to them and see what their needs are. So we've done a lot through the years. In the beginning, we used to only make about half of what we make now for money-wise as far as contributing to the different organizations. So with that, we're able to do more.
Well, let's talk about that. What kind of impact are you guys having economically, and what some of your initiatives again, or how are you addressing the needs, and where is that money going?
Well, I got a whole list of things, but
Go ahead.
Backpacks of Love is a nonprofit organization that's held in the Mint Hill community, and they distribute food to people in need. And they also distribute about 120 backpacks of non-perishable food to children in the Mint Hill schools. Another one is Bright Blessings. They are a nonprofit, and they do a lot of things for the community as far as fundraising and giving back to children.
They
We
have
do.
birthday parties.
Say
too.
that again?
They have birthday parties for children, a lot of homeless children.
Yes, and they give them birthday presents. They make up gift bags. These children, and whenever it's their birthday, they give them these gift bags. And we've helped with that.
I am curious in a suburb of a large city like this. I know in Charlotte proper, homelessness is as it is across the nation. How big of a problem is that in a small town like this? What are we dealing with here?
Surprisingly, it's a lot more than what you would think.
Yeah, that's why I asked that question, because you would think a lot of people. I mean, there's affluent areas of the Mint Hill region.
Yes.
A lot of just kind of normal middle class neighborhoods as well.
Right.
So I was wondering, you don't see it apparently out on the streets very much here, but
No.
you say it's surprisingly
Right. Well, again, Honor the Warriors, that deals with veterans who have been injured during the war. We do a lot with them. They have an annual cycle race, and we support them by thanking these veterans and making food and giving the food as a dinner for them. And then the next day with their cycle race, we support them by manning stations for the cyclists on their route. Also with different nursing homes. We have several local nursing homes in Mint Hill. And Cadence Nursing Home, we just went yesterday and did Christmas caroling with the residents. And
nice.
we also have done musical bingo with the residents, which they love because they always get treats and things, and they love that. We also are doing crafts. We did a Thanksgiving craft with them in their arts and crafts room, and then this month we're doing a Christmas craft with them. So we're going back again next week.
Wow, that is a big commitment.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. What do you got going on in your life as the head of this organization in the coming weeks? What's that look like for you?
We have a lot coming up in the coming weeks.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
There's something going on.
Yeah, I caught a glimpse of Marilyn's calendar yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, we have a lot going on. So we have a lot of crafts with the nursing homes coming up. We have, we've touched on before about our social events. So we'll have our membership meeting next week. And it's always at the town hall, but next week we'll be at a church to have our Christmas meeting, and it'll be a lot of fun. We're gonna have a Secret Santa ornament exchange, and we all bring it's a potluck, so we'll all bring snacks and drinks and desserts. We have something else in 2 weeks. Servant's Heart.
What is that?
We collect toys for Servant's Heart Children's Drive each year. And right now, well, it'll end on Monday at our meeting. People will still be bringing, but right now we have over $600 worth of toys that we're donating, and probably about $200 worth of gift certificates.
Well, now, since we're talking about all these things that are upcoming, do you have any specific urgent needs to fill right now in the next 2 weeks before the holiday? And how can people get in touch with you and engage with you to donate if they are so inclined?
Which Sunflower Cafe is involved with. They are having, right this time of year, they collect toys for needy families also. And they have volunteers coming in, and we're coming in December to gift wrap all these presents. And then they have people that will distribute them to these different families throughout the community.
Okay.
And Sam, I'll say, we're always looking for support within the community, and without that support, we can't do the things that we do in the community. Up to date, we've probably given out $200,000 to the community. And so if people are looking to help, they can go to our website and contact us. We would love to connect with them. And if there are needs in the community, we would love to hear from them too.
$200,000? That's just this fiscal year.
No,
Oh,
altogether,
total.
yeah,
I was gonna say, holy cow, that's a lot of money.
that is.
We'd like to earn more money so we can do more in the community, but, you know, it's slow process to get
Yeah.
people, because we still have people that I talk to, neighbors and that's never even heard of Mint Hill Women's Club. And so whenever I can, I pass out our flyer. Can you see this?
There you go.
That we have listed how you can join, the times of our meetings. On the back, it lists some of the organizations that we sponsor, and it also, you know, puts down. It has our website on here too, so that they know where to contact.
Yeah, we can go over some of the social media. We can pull that up on the screen here. And I'm wondering if there's anybody out there. I do want to go ahead and give this invitation. Now, we're trying some pretty cool things. Did anybody get some nice pictures of this side view?
I did.
Cool. I really want people to see what we're doing here, because we really are utilizing. I'm gonna make a little plug here for what it is that I'm doing in the community. Those of you that might just be tuning in, becoming familiar with charlottenowtelevision, I'm actually a retired digital media teacher. I was a teacher as well up in central Pennsylvania, taught for 13 years, moved to Charlotte only a year ago, and started this as a way to get out in the community and get to know people. So I should say this is brought to you by my company, which is Red Sea Media. And my goal here with everything that we're doing is to engage the community using digital media tools and educating young people to use these tools to make their community a better place. Like, it's my dream to be able to have a few young associate producers here and teach them how to do this. You look at this setup, it's a complex setup, and I'm a one-man show doing it. So I run into errors, things like that. It'd be awesome to have a couple kids here actually producing and learning the digital media arts, so they can then deploy their gifts in the community and help tell these stories, you know? So that's part of my goal with this. So if you want to support charlottenow.tv, feel free to do so. Go to charlottenow.tv and you can get involved. And a way that you can support me and my efforts and keep this going, because it takes time and money to do all this. If you're a business and you have the need to do live streaming, video production, virtual events, web design, I've been doing more web designs recently, please visit me at redc.media and consider me for your media services. So I mentioned getting young people involved with this. Now, you kind of lit up about that. What's that all about? What do you see there?
Well, 4 years ago, when Andre West and myself were co-presidents, our membership was about 45 ladies. And we said, we need to get, and a lot of these ladies are getting up in years. And we said, we need to get some younger blood and some younger representatives in our club. So Andre and I went around to different Crestwinds Community Center, which is a senior a new complex for seniors. And we went around to a couple other places that have groups of people and talk to them about the Mint Hill Women's Club and about what we do and how we would like new members to come in to take over, you know, eventually, and to increase our membership. So as of date, we have 107 members in our club right now. So it's grown and it's grown. And during the summertime at the town hall, we have meetings and we have open house for new people to join. So we get a lot of our members now from this open house that we have.
And Sam, I would like to add that our members range from 25 to 95.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That's
and the
impressive.
95-year-old is very, very active. She works in her garden every day in the summer and, you know, is a spitfire. She plays canasta. She plays Mexican train. She
heard forever.
She plays Mexican train. She plays bunco on a monthly basis.
I grew up in a Sicilian household.
Yes.
My mama was from New York, grew up in New York, and back in the day, in our neighborhood, there were a lot of Italian families. They had moved from the East Coast cities into the mountains of central Pennsylvania, went to work in the coal mines and in the brickyards and whatnot. So I grew up with bunch of old Italian ladies sitting around the kitchen, cussing and cursing and drinking wine in Italian. Though I didn't know what they were saying, but I learned a few. I learned a little bit of choice language growing up and playing canasta. And that's funny to hear. I haven't heard anybody even reference canasta.
Every Wednesday she plays with a group of ladies. She's amazing.
I'm sure the language is much cleaner though than it was in my house growing up. I'm sure, probably. So, you know, those
These are a bunch of older ladies, you know.
Hot-blooded, passionate Sicilians, right? Yes. That's awesome. This is great. I love this conversation, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. I really, truly am. Where do you see this going? You have targets. Do you have goals and visions in terms of, I mean, going from 45 members to 100? That's a lot, right? What do you want to see happen here in terms of the growth of your organization and, like we talked about, the monetary impact, right? What are your goals for 2024? Maybe let's go ahead and go back to you, Jessica.
Yeah. Well, I really just want this club to be a place for women to connect and get together and be social and improve yourself, self-enrichment. And, you know, get out in the community as much as possible and raise as much money as we can to help the community as much as we can. That's why we're all here.
And do you have any fiscal goals?
I do.
Top the year before?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But I also, I feel that I want to try to reach as many community leaders and nonprofits in the Mint Hill area that need our help, whether it's time by going and volunteer, or if we have money to support them, give them money, but also at least a couple times a month, we ask our members to bring in food, non-perishable food for different groups. We ask our members to bring in the toys for Servants Heart. We ask them to bring in all kinds of things that our community nonprofits have asked us to help them with.
And I think that's important to recognize here too. And y'all have connected me with some of your partners, because the nature of these, the nature of these organizations, it's not just, although you do, it's not just helping directly the people of the community, but helping expand that network of assistance and outreach by networking with like organizations that are in need of increasing their footprint, their the awareness of what they're offering the community and the very resources, right? Mm-hmm. So it's a team effort. I think it's wonderful. And Jessica, thank you so much for introducing me not only to your colleagues here in the Women's Club, but to some of your friends in the organizations. We have a few of them with us today. Did you want to bring up, I think you have somebody else here from the organization. Did you want to bring her in before we go back to some of our partners? And what is your name and your part in the organization? I believe you introduced yourself to me earlier.
Yes, I'm Andre West.
Andre West.
Yes.
Very good. Well, we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much, and for what you're doing for the community. Tell us a little bit about Andre West and what you're doing with the Women's Club. And then maybe we use this as a segue to our partners in the other not-for-profit.
Okay. All right. I am a resident of the Mint Hill area for the last 9 years. I came originally from New Orleans by way of Massachusetts to South Carolina.
Say that again.
New Orleans?
I heard the New Orleans. I heard that. That's all.
And we came here because of grandchildren. So I've always been in the corporate world until we moved here when I retired. And so I never had the opportunity to give back to the community because I was always busy either raising children or working. My neighbor, who was one of the original members, Mary Wallace, contacted me and said, "You need to come with me to a meeting." And I'm thinking, oh God, a bunch of women, really? So we went, and I got very much involved, got on the board immediately, redid the website, redid all the social media, because I saw a club that literally, as Marilyn alluded to earlier, was dying due to the age of the individuals that were in the club, and they needed some fresh blood to come in to continue to grow. And as she said, we only had like 45 members when we took over. At one point, we had 120. Okay, everything that we bring in goes back out to the community. We're all volunteers. We don't get paid.
Oh, your volunteer position as well.
Everything.
But that's got to be borderline full-time job. I mean, I'm sure you're putting a good amount. You know.
Yeah.
I quit my job in May to stay home with the baby, and now my husband jokes and says, "You quit your full-time paid job at the bank, and now you're volunteering for free."
Hey, you know what though? Here's what's beautiful. Amy Sue and I were talking about this morning. Chan, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? There's another example of what I was just going to talk about, which is walking by faith. One of the things that amazed me about this community coming to the Sunflower Club, and watching the people that they're walking out their faith walk, and they're in service to community. They're following their calling that the good Lord put in their heart. And I'm watching these organizations and these people just doing this, and it's an example and an inspiration, I know, to me and to the community. It's so, you know, if you're watching this, you really need to come down here to Sunflower Club and support Amy Sue and what she's doing and be part of this hub. We're so excited about this, and it really is a faith community here, and I'm honored, and I think it's great that, I mean, my goodness, that's a big leap of faith to take, right? Especially with a new baby on the way.
Right.
Yeah. How's all that working out for you? I mean,
it's great. Yeah, and I mean, we've got a huge support of women that support, and I mean, they love my baby Willow, you know, and they ask about her. She did.
Yeah. Somebody hold her, would you please?
Yeah.
I got you. I think this is fabulous. Is there anything else before we shift gears here and talk with our partners from the not-for-profit community? Is there anything else that you would like to address or say to the community?
The only other thing that I would like to say is, in the past, before Marilyn and I got heavily involved and became co-presidents, our net income was probably in the $5,000 to $7,000 a year from fundraising. We turned it around, and within 1 year, we brought in $28,000. And we have since continued to bring in $28,000 to $30,000 to $32,000. And all of that money goes right back out to people like Chen, to Jerry Morris, to Navandria, to Amy Sue. So we have gotten very much involved. We also give scholarships. We give about $4,000 to $6,000 a year in scholarships to not only high school students, but people that are going into second careers that happen to live in Mint Hill. So,
now that's interesting.
We're sort of like a clearinghouse because we really don't have a specific mission.
Yeah.
We just help everybody.
Well, tell me more about that, because one of the things that I do as an educator, I have a workforce development program through Mecklenburg County Workforce Development, where it's aiming at young adults that are looking for and wanting to do career exploration and find something new. There's a lot of people that are finding themselves in a position these days where they need to shift lanes in their career or indeed find a new career. Interesting to see you say that. Talk to me a little bit about those initiatives.
Partner with CPCC, which is Central Community.
Piedmont.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we have 2 women on our board that interview candidates that are in need. So they have to, qualify for financial need, Pell Grants, that kind of stuff.
And she will be here today to talk to us.
Oh, is she? Oh, okay. Oh, great. But anyway, so we have found in the past, we had a mother and a son of a disabled vet. A vet had come back. He was no longer able to work. So she had to find something to create a career to support her family. So we literally followed her through her 2-year program in culinary arts with CPCC. And then we paid for her son to also go to school. So those are the kind of things, like I said, we're a clearinghouse, to help communities.
I really got to say, I am so glad that I'm doing this because, please don't take this wrong, but when Amy Sue said we're having the women's club come in, that was my first impression was somebody said, what are we gonna, we're gonna talk, we're gonna fold doilies and drink tea here? I don't, what am I gonna talk about? Right? So it's really cool to find out all these, and that's the importance and the power of these media technologies that we have today. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to watch this thing that are going, I didn't know. I had no idea that this is what
we were like the hidden gem in the community. No one really knew about us. They're like, oh, we didn't even know they had a club, So.
And media has made the difference.
Oh, yes,
when
absolutely.
I was 20 years ago.
You're not going to get picked up way over there. You want to come over, just kind of look over her shoulder real quick. Say again?
I was thinking media makes the difference. When I was the president 20 years ago, we had no media. We didn't have the newsletters going out digitally. We hand delivered 800 newsletters to every person in the community.
You can hold your chair right up there. You'll be on camera. Okay.
But media really has mushroomed the whole entire process. It's wonderful.
Yeah, media has, and our outreach to the Chamber of Commerce has been a huge instrument in not only bringing in new members and younger members that are in leadership positions because they're all entrepreneurs, but at the same time, financially, they've been a very big part of our success as well.
That's fabulous. So appreciate that. Paige, your name keeps coming up via Chamber of Commerce. Now, we had a successful podcast with you the other day. I know you're involved with the Women's Club, support what they're doing. Why don't you come in real quick and say hi and tell us your involvement. And, I love to talk about the touchy-feely aspect of this because, we get involved in our community. We do good in our community. How does this make you feel as the chamber president to be able to have, that deep personal impact? The story that she told us about that mother going back to school and finding a new career and then extending that to the helping in her family. Did you anticipate that kind of involvement when you took the job as the president of the chamber, managing and promoting the business community? How does that make you feel to know that you're having that kind of impact through your involvement in the Women's Club?
Yeah, absolutely. We love to hear these stories, especially from our nonprofit organizations. We have 26 nonprofits within our chamber, and they are all doing such wonderful things. I have been a resident of this community for 26 years, so I know many of the business leaders and residents already. But when you connect with somebody on an emotional level, even doing business with them, it just grows that trust that you have within your community. And that's what this organization, the Women's Club, does. They actually are not an organization that just gets together and drinks coffee and plays cards. Like, they put their mission to work every day, and they are out making purposeful, emotional connections in our community. And for me, I love that. I told you last time we were talking, our chamber feels like a family. And just like when everybody was walking in today, everybody, is so grateful to see each other. We want to see each organization thrive in our community. And then, we're all better together. So, not one of our organizations is wanting to compete against each other. If they can partner with each other, then that is what makes me feel very fulfilled in my role. So, yeah thanks for asking that.
Absolutely. And let's go ahead and do this. I want to see my phone up there. I'm using that via data to get a 5th camera. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 cameras here, and then there's a 5th camera up there in the corner. So check it out. Everybody turn around and just say hi. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that camera up. There we go. It's up now. Turn around and say hey. Hey. Nice. There you go. So this is what's happening every time we come in here at the Sunflower Club. We are building community, promoting community, moving forward agendas of the good, right? And I love it. So, everybody, I want y'all to just give yourselves a hand, right? Because this is wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. Thank you so much, Paige, for what you're doing. Who else do we have here as a guest today?
Jerry.
Jerry is
From Honor the Warriors.
Honor the Warriors.
Yes, we
yeah,
just got done
man.
doing a dinner for their organization.
That is awesome. I appreciate you, Jerry. Have a seat there, and you're a little bit taller, so let me go ahead and adjust this. Why don't you move forward just a little bit and kind of slide to your right because you're a little out of the frame. There we go.
Sam, while you're
hold
getting
on. Let me turn your camera on. Go ahead, Jessica.
While you're getting Jerry set up, just to kind of piggyback on what Paige had said about not being in competition with other organizations or anything like that, I would like to encourage all your viewers. I know not everyone is in Mint Hill, but we have Charlotte, Statesville, Matthews, all the surrounding areas. All of them have women's clubs. And I'd really like to encourage all your viewers to seek them out and see about joining or how they can help those local chapters.
Awesome. Great advice. Thank you so much. It's all about community engagement, right? Ask yourself, we all do it. We all have time in our lives that how many movies did we watch on Netflix this week, right? Things that are just, and sometimes you need the downtime, right? And the chill, but really I have a lot of people, I know I run into a lot of people, I'd love to get more involved, but I don't have time. But that's not true. We all have expendable time in our lives. Might only be 20 minutes, might be 30 minutes, might be hours on a week, but there's ways that you can get involved in the community, and the community needs you. There are people that are out there that are struggling, that are hurting, that maybe it's just being a mentor and being a friend to somebody, right? Maybe it's just writing the check, right? There's all kinds of needs in the community, and that's the beauty of this show. We're meeting people in the not-for-profit community that are doing all those things and more, and we're telling their stories. You're watching the Sunflower Club version of charlottenowtelevision. I'm your host, Sam Ettaro, and all this brought to you by my production company, redc.media. If you need a website, you need a professional live broadcast, if you need video production, audio production, it's one way that you can support this effort because you hire me as a commercial producer, and that helps fund these things that I'm not getting paid for. And that's okay. That's cool. It's part of my service to the community. So I appreciate you watching and telling people about charlottenowtelevision. Jessica, tell us about our guest right now.
This is our good friend, Jerry Morris, and he is with Honor the Warriors, which is an organization that we absolutely love helping and giving back to. And when we talked about coming and sharing other nonprofits, Jerry came to our mind right away, and we were so excited to invite him today.
Awesome. Jerry.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, my pleasure.
You are a veteran yourself?
14 years in the U.S. Army, yes, sir.
Wow. Well, God bless you. Thank you for your service to this great country, protecting our freedoms that allow us to be able to do stuff like this, right? And tell these stories and speak freely about our great land. So I want to thank you for everything that you're doing. Tell us about your organization and what you got going on these days.
Well, Honor the Warriors has been around Mint Hill. My wife and I have lived here 19 years. And we developed this organization through some friends in the military. We recognized a problem. We saw too many, we thought, soldiers taking their own lives, too many people having real difficult time integrating back into society after they've been to war. So we decided one of our passions was cycling. The five of us who organized this. So we decided through cycling we could maybe help some of those guys. So we started on a real shoestring budget. I mean, I was chasing trucks going to the dump. I was chasing them down and going, hey, can I buy those 5 bicycles you've got in the back for $20? And I was getting 5 bicycles and maybe able to make one good one out of them. So it worked out, barely limping along. We started being involved more in the community, and through a councilwoman who was also a member of the Women's Club, Miss Tina Ross, was a great, great friend of ours and one of the most lovely people I've ever met in my life. She invited me to speak at the Women's Club, and so I showed up at the Women's Club and talked to them a little bit, and I made the comment that we'd been moving along for 5 or 6 years. And one of my regrets or sorrows, I guess, was that we hadn't had much support from the community. And that started not a snowball, but an avalanche. And the Women's Club has been the leader of that in helping us. Not just monetarily, they do give us a donation every year, but physically, these women have come out and supported our event. We have several events through the year, but our biggest event is the last weekend of October every year.
Yeah, look, I'm going to get into this. I'm actually, as you're talking, I have your website pulled up on the screen with you in the picture-in-picture. Go ahead. I actually pulled up your events page just as you were starting that. So let me go ahead and pull that back up. Continue. Tell us about the events that you've done this year and what you got coming up.
Well, we our big event on last weekend of October, again every year, we bring 30 to 40, depending on our budget, disabled vets into town. We bring them into town on a Thursday, and it's a cycling event. That Friday morning after we bring them into Mint Hill, we take them downtown and we bicycle through downtown Charlotte. And it's the height of fun for some of these guys every year. We stop off at an elementary school, we wave to the kids, we talk with them, have a great time with them. We get to ride through downtown Charlotte, and the reception we get is fantastic. We are escorted by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Motor Unit. So those guys need a little round of applause. And then Thursday.
Wait a minute. Let's give them a round of applause.
So that's our Friday ride. Our Saturday ride is here in Mint Hill. And we've partnered with Arlington Baptist Church, Arlington Road Baptist Church. That's where we hold our event. We set up more of a community bike ride.
Say that again. Arlington Road?
Arlington Road Baptist Church,
okay, cool.
Right out here at the edge of Mint Hill.
And what do they? When you say you're partnering with them, what are they doing for you?
They give us a venue, and it was surprisingly hard. We had the city park for a while, but we outgrew it. And then as we were outgrowing it, COVID came along, and we were not able to use the park. And Arlington Road, Pastor Whittier stepped up and said, hey, how about my place? And we've not looked back since. It's been fantastic. We run our event out of there. He helps us out, some support out there with our guys. But we bring, generally our goal there is 130 to 140 riders. We invite the entire community to come in. And that's really kind of almost a fundraiser for us. Our hope with it is we break even. So I guess it's not too much of a fundraiser, but as long as we break even and our guys have a good time, we enjoy that ride. Now, along with that, the Women's Club steps up, and our Friday night ride, after that ride downtown, they host a dinner party for us. And it is probably the biggest potluck I've ever seen. Everybody cooks their specialty dishes. They bring stuff out. They serve us. It is just wonderful. It is such a good, feel-good event with those women and our guys. So we do that. And then after that event, we're kind of kind of done for the year, but we do, well, last year we said we would do 4 other events. We did 9. So, because if one of our vets calls and says, hey, there's a ride in Stanford and we'd like to support that. Okay, we support it. We send 10 or 12 riders over there and we support their event. But in Charlotte, we bring our guys in here. We pay for their hotel room. We get them a jersey. We take care of them 100%. On the other rides, we can't afford to do that. Our budget just doesn't allow that. But we do pay their entry fees. And most of the time, my wife and I, and by my wife and I mean that's the 100% of our staff. And we're, again, just like the Women's Club, all volunteers. So we both volunteer. We're both retired, so it makes it a little easier to volunteer now. But we support them by going to the rides and going to events around North Carolina, South Carolina, some in Virginia. Last year we went and did a ride in Georgia. And we'll probably keep some of those same rides. You see on the website there, I'm going to throw up there probably this week a list of rides, and we let our guys kind of maybe vote on them. Get their input. Yeah, we'd like to do this ride or that ride, and we'll incorporate those.
Awesome. Yeah, I have the website up. It is honorthewarriors.org. And a lot of great pictures here, a lot of history here. That's wonderful. One of the things that I noticed, I'm pulling the site up as you're talking, as I said, and I notice here gear tips. Right? I think that's really cool. So you're I imagine you're advocates for safety and road safety and all that. So you're not just having fun promoting these events and people and your causes, but you're educating the community as well.
That's correct.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about your gear tips section of the website, and I'm going to go ahead and cruise through this.
Well, we've partnered with the Mint Hill police bike team, and we've sponsored a light giveaway. So we gave away 100 combination headlight, tail light things to kids at an event they had in the fall. We'll have a helmet giveaway here in the spring, where we'll have 110 or 120 helmets that we give away. And we run, as Honor the Warriors, every Wednesday evening, 6 o'clock or 6:30, depending on when the weather or the time changes. We run a community bike ride here in Mint Hill. And we just try to get a lot of people together in the Harris Teeter parking lot. And we drive through some of the very low trafficked areas of town. And those low trafficked areas are getting smaller and smaller as Mint Hill grows. But we just take a ride through Mint Hill and have a good time with it.
Tech tips, maintaining your maintaining your chains, brakes, safety considerations, electronics fully charged. Wow. Hey, let's go ahead real quick before we bring in our next guest. We've been doing this a long time. A tip, or let's say, one of the biggest concerns that you have noted in your years doing this, and your advice to the community, whether they want to get involved or they're driving a car and there's right. What's the biggest point of concern that you've seen, and what are you doing to alleviate that, to help with that, and give some advice to our viewers here?
Well, for cyclists, one of the big things that we do is I'm a certified bike mechanic, and we have 2-3 others in the organization that are. So people we'll do free evaluations of your bike. If your bike doesn't work well, bring it to us and we will fix it for you. You buy the parts, we'll tell you what you need, buy the parts, bring them to us, we put it on. It keeps us up on our skills. But I would say that probably 70% of the people who bring us their bikes will say, oh, it needs a new shifting system. The whole thing needs to be changed. And what they really needed was just a little bit of lubrication on their chain. It doesn't shift right. Okay, so we'll lube the chain up.
Wait a minute. Why did that get so many chuckles? That was not inappropriate. This is a family show.
Some of these people have been recipients of a little bit of oil on their chains, so. But that's all it takes, because the majority of people hang a bike up in a garage and live instead.
Look, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about coffee. We're talking about caffeine, right? Oil that chain a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
yep.
I think it's great. I appreciate your all sense of humor. Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. My
what
pleasure.
are your immediate needs for your organization right now? I mean, obviously you need money, you need support, right?
That's it. This is our downtime. We don't have another planned ride until April. So we take a little bit of time off in the spring. And some people, including my wife, would rather not ride when it's really cold outside. So, it's our downtime. So donations are always welcome. And in the fall, you'll see us asking for support. And the Mint Hill Women's Club steps up and does a whole bunch of that. So, just community support and community involvement. Our Wednesday night rides we've kind of slowed down on, but we'll kick those back up in April, maybe mid-March, depending on the weather. And then just come on out and ride, have a good time, meet the guys, and ride around the community.
Well, I gotta say, Jerry, thank you so much for what you're doing. Again, God bless you. Thank you for your service to this great country, for what you're doing to help make Charlotte the awesome place to live and do business that it is. We're coming to you live from the Sunflower Club, as we are every Friday. And what I want to do real quick, we're going to put on the overhead cam. I see my brother Jet come in. Awesome. Everybody take a look into that overhead cam. And we want to give a real quick salute in honor to all of our United States veterans that have helped protect and serve over the years. God bless you. Thank you for your service. From the Mint Hill Sunflower Club, I'm Sam Ettaro, coming to you live with a special edition that we do every Friday, focusing on the not-for-profit community. My brother Jet, thank you so much. Jet runs thanks for coming in today, man. Jet runs a not-for-profit called Believers Today. We're going to have him come on and talk at length as a special guest about what he's doing as a musician and some of the initiatives that he's got going on in helping to identify and stop and mitigate, if possible, violence in our communities. He's doing great work. Jeff, thank you for coming down, man. I have to stop in real quick and say hello before you take off. I believe we've got, who else do we have here? I know Chen. Oh, she's pointing. We have another guest coming in. Well, hello. Watch your setup there. I do not know you, I believe. This is our first meeting, yes? Yes. Okay, fabulous. Well, hi, I'm Sam. You're live to the world, and as I'm looking, I think there are, hold on, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our live count. I'm curious. It appears to be about 14,000 people watching live right now all over the world. So don't be nervous. No, that's not true. I think it might be maybe 14 max. So, well, hey, look, that's where you come in, right? Community media is not community media unless community gets involved. So it doesn't cost you anything to hit that share button. Matter of fact, I am going to challenge everybody here in the room right now. Go to Charlotte Now Television on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, share this post. And it's not just enough to share. Tell people. Say, hey, look, this is really cool what's going on, and you need to engage. We also want to hear from you in the comment section of the Facebook page. So I'm going to bring in our new friend here. Introduce yourself. Let me set this camera. Hold on, because you are not as tall as our previous guest. And let's have you move quite a bit closer so that we get a little better audio on you. Awesome. Okay, so Jessica, real quick, why don't you introduce our guest and do that setup for us? Go ahead.
Of course. This is our sweet friend, Navandria Huggins, and she's one of our members. And she is here today to talk to us about Blessed Assurance Adult Daycare. And this is another one of the organizations that we support, and we are so thankful that you're here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I gotta tell you, Navandria Huggins. What an absolutely lovely name.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it makes me want to give you a hug. But I'm in my cockpit here, and I'm a huggy guy, but I'm surrounded by all this stuff. We'll hug afterwards. But that's wonderful, lovely lady. I was checking out your website and what you guys are doing for the community. Again, may the good Lord's blessings be upon you and what you are doing for this community. Tell us about Blessed Assurance.
So Blessed Assurance is located in Matthews. It's kind of funny. Our mailbox is in Matthews, but our business is literally in Mint Hill. It's a family-owned, operated business. My dad opened it about 25 years ago. So we're in the community, provide services for adults that have Alzheimer's, dementia, and other debilitating health diseases. So basically, it's a way to keep mom and dad at home instead of placing them in a nursing home so they can continue to thrive and live. We have a nursing staff every day. We provide meals, activities, and social engagement. So pretty much it's just another way to keep them living and allow them to keep everything they work so hard for.
That's outstanding. I know personally a lot of people have. I went through that with my mom, watched the slow debilitation over years to the point where she didn't even recognize me or her granddaughter anymore. It's a difficult time, obviously, not just for the patient, but for the families. So talk to us about that aspect of it. How are you engaging with the families? Obviously, you're providing those services to the patients, but what are you doing to support the families?
So we support the families by, one, providing a safe place for them to come. We have resources. We have a partnership with Atrium and Novant Hospital. We do therapy sessions, and then we've got a doctor by the name of Dr. Valori. He's like the top doctor in Charlotte that he specializes in dementia and Alzheimer's. So he comes and puts on seminars for the community. We put it in the paper. Pretty much we have contact with the Department of Social Services. So pretty much a resource. So if mom needs help with bathing services, we can reach out for home health care services. If there's transportation needs, we can do that. So pretty much it's a one-stop shop. Everything that you can possibly do outside, we try to provide that there. We have people that come in and do PT and OT therapy. So basically, all their needs are met there. So when mom drops them off at 7 o'clock in the morning, knowing that when they pick them up at 5:30 or 6, everything that they needed, they've got done so they can go home, get them ready for bed, feed them, so they can pretty much relax and then start their day all over again. Like I said, a one-stop shop. We even have a salon on site where we have a cosmetologist that comes in every other Thursday to provide hair care services.
Now I have your website up here. I see, my goodness, our programs. Talk to us about the various programs. Family support groups, skilled nursing care, health education, staff consultations. You guys are doing a lot for the community here. What's the most popular service that you are that you're offering? And of course, that is probably going to be because there's a big need for that, right?
So the most popular is going to be the medical and healthcare services and the activities and keeping them engaged, because we know if people are active and engaged, that's going to encourage them to thrive and live. If you're sitting at home being sedentary, you're going to die, basically. So we keep them up and running. We pretty much have a schedule from the time they come in the morning, from getting breakfast and socialization to doing devotion, getting up, getting aerobics, activities, bringing in volunteers. Like I said, it's a one-stop shop. We keep them engaged all day long, so when they go home, they're ready to eat and go to bed.
That's fabulous. Where are you now in terms of growth? The issue that, as we know, is getting more and more prevalent and a bigger problem across society. So your needs are growing in the community, I'm sure. You need resources to be able to attend to those as well. Is this, I didn't catch this, is this a free service for the families? Are you subsidizing that service, or if there's a cost involved? What are your needs to be able to continue grow and provide these services to the community as the need grows?
We are fortunate to have 5 different funding sources. So if you're a veteran, the VA will pay for you to come there. If you're a spouse of a veteran, they'll pay for you to come there. There are different government programs that subsidize, and then we do have some people that are on grant programs. So pretty much there's, and then Mecklenburg County, I love it because they have something called caregiver support. If you are 65 years old and older, live in Mecklenburg County, and you need assistance with 2 ADLs, meaning you need assistance with bathing, feeding. There's a program that will actually pay for your loved one to come there 5 days a week. It costs you absolutely nothing. You're just responsible for the transportation. So again, trying to meet the needs of the people.
That's awesome. I'm taking a look here. Look at all these testimonials on your website. This is great. Janice, Rebecca, Alice, Vanessa, William. How long have you guys been doing this, and how many families have you served through your tenure with the organization?
So we opened this January 1 of 1998, so 25 years, so coming up on our 26th year.
So you've had a big impact. That's fabulous.
And we're the only adult daycare in Matthews.
The only?
The only.
Now, your numbers just off the top of your head, how many patients / families would you say that you've served in that time?
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how many I've served, but my facility holds 100, and right now I have 78 on roster. And we've actually done an expansion. The next goal is not to expand anymore at our current site, but to try to open up a facility in the Pineville or Ballantyne area, because there's not one over there either. Again, trying to meet the needs.
Jessica, tell us about the women's club's involvement. You orchestrated all this today, brought our guests in here for the purpose of raising awareness and illustrating the power of community, right? And what is the women's club doing with Blessed Assurance? How are you supporting them? How are they supporting you? Let's talk about that relationship.
Right. So we have volunteers that go to Blessed Assurance, and we paint nails and do little manicures. I understand that men are coming these days and getting little manicures because they don't want to miss out on the fun and conversation.
My wife keeps yelling at me. Jen will tell you, I play guitar and my nails are an absolute wreck. And she keeps yelling at me and saying you need a pedicure too. So
we don't
I don't do pedicures either, and obviously I don't do manicures. So that's awesome, though. Are you finding men engaging in these things?
Yes.
Yeah, they're coming out.
Yes.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
It's mostly the veterans.
Yes.
Chen, you get pedicures and manicures, don't you? No. That's awesome. So you're doing these services and it's benefiting. You're doing these services and it's benefiting their organization. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And they just had a prom not too long ago.
A prom?
Yeah. Navandri. Yeah.
We do a senior prom.
Hold on. Let me pull your. I clicked the wrong button here. Let me pull your camera up. A senior prom.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, so they get decked out. We have a prom king and queen, a dance off. I mean, it's something you got to see. It's literally every year, the last Friday in August.
That's awesome. Okay, we're getting some comments over here. Say that again.
And the Minto Women's Club.
The Women's Club always comes and helps them out. That's fantastic. Well, we appreciate anything you want to say to our audience. As you were talking, I was pulling up your website. Is there any point of interest or anything you would like to bring to light here before we go ahead and move to our next guest?
Just that we are here in the Matthews Mint Hill community. If you're needing services, just give us a call. Our website is blessedadultcare.org, and we would love to help you out with your loved one.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull this up here. There's a contact form, 704-845-1359 in Navandria at blessedadultcare.org. Again, my dear, thank you so much. God bless you for your service, what you're doing for those in such critical need. It's a rough time, and it's wonderful to know that there are people that are out there helping out the way that you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm seeing. Yeah, you want to come in? Yeah. Why don't you just?
No, I just want to sit next to
Hold on. Okay, you got to stoop down a little further.
Okay.
There you go. Now you're on. Go ahead.
I'd just like to mention that the Minto Women's Club has just filled 40 gift bags for Christmas gifts for her residents, and we're going to be delivering them next week. And they have about 15 to 18 items in each bag.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Thank you so much. Again, stories, this is the power of community, right? People coming together, loving one another, and helping out, identify. And, so much of it, I mean, if you're a good person, whether you're driven by specifically your faith or you just want to do good in your community, whatever your motivation is, I think there's a lot of people that are out there that get overwhelmed by our society in general, right? And they go, man, there's so much need and there's so much that needs to happen. And man, getting involved, I'll just write a check. Again, that's important. All these organizations need money, but what they really need, that human contact. We need to see you out there in the community, face-to-face, one-on-one with people, in small groups, in large groups, putting your time in, adding your particular gifts. God gave us all gifts, specific gifts, different personalities. Put them to work in your community, folks, right? These organizations and others that we are spotlighting right here on Charlotte Now, live at the Sunflower Club. That is so important, and I can't stress this enough. Get involved. Get out there, and whatever it is that you can do, lend a hand and help make your little corner of the world a far better place. Jessica, let's go ahead, and a couple other people I want to bring in real quick. Remind us, let me pull up your website or your Facebook page, because I don't want to forget here that you've got some things that are coming up right away, straight away, and I want to make sure that we have a moment here to, hold on a second. I want to make sure that we have a moment here to pull up hold on. I'm in the wrong scene. Give me 1 second. I want to make sure that we have a moment to pull up your page, because you specifically mentioned your Facebook page. There it is. All right. And I'm not sure why you specifically mentioned that page, but I had a feeling that there was something that you wanted to point out on here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now. And Facebook.com, Mint Hill Women's Club. I've got it up, and feel free to navigate through. Look at all those lovely ladies there doing wonderful work in their community.
Yeah, look at those beautiful women.
Oh.
Okay, so this is our Facebook page, and here you can just find a lot of the things that we're doing in the community. If you scroll down,
Hey, look, that's you. That's us.
Me. So exciting.
That's so awesome. It's exciting, right?
Oh, there's the chamber event we just went to. That was a lot of fun. So the main thing I just wanted to point out is
wait a minute. Look at the turnout there.
Yeah.
That's fabulous. Awesome. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
that's okay.
Actually I did, which is why I did.
Oh, that was fine.
All right. Okay, keep going.
It really highlights a lot of the wonderful things that the ladies in the club do. You asked what we're going to have coming up, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention one thing that we've got coming up early next year. It's our huge fundraiser. The way that we bring in a large sum of our money so we can do all the wonderful things in the community that we do. It'll be March 7th. I don't know. Yeah, you can see this. It's at the Pine Lake Country Club, and we're selling tickets. It's a really wonderful event where people in the community come sample wines. We
Sip,
have
savor, and support.
Yeah.
So while you're sipping, you're savoring life and friends and community, and you're supporting a wonderful organization. Did I get that right? That's the whole idea?
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. So we do all kind of things. We do silent auctions and raffles. What's that?
You don't need to whisper.
Yeah, you don't have to whisper. I've got these earphones on. I can't hear.
We can hear you. Go ahead. Just speak up. We can hear you.
Yeah, we have a wine pool.
A wine what?
A wine pool. We have a 5-foot.
Hey, come on over here. This chair's free. Join the conversation, right? I know you want to.
Okay.
A wine pool?
Yes, we have a 5-foot wine bottle that was painted and decorated and cut and designed by my husband, Craig Fargo. But anyway, and it has 60 corks on it that are numbered 1 through 60. And people can buy for $20 a ticket pull one of those corks, and then they get a bottle of either red or white wine. And the wine is worth anywhere from $15 to $90. So they're paying $20 for a ticket, but they're getting at least as much, if not more, for that bottle of wine.
Awesome. Well, tell us about some of your people that supported this and are donating. You've got prizes. What kind of prizes can people win, and who are some of your supporters? I'm assuming that many of the prizes were donated, yes, from the community?
Yes, we are so fortunate in the Mint Hill community. We have great small businesses that, you know, just really support us, and we just make a call and they're like, yes, we're happy to donate. We've gotten all kinds of, excuse me, wonderful things. We make gift baskets that's got gift cards in it, trips and condos, and a local artist. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but Dennis the Menace, the
Dennis,
artist.
what?
Yeah,
The cartoon?
cartoon. Yeah.
The guy that made Dennis the Menace, really, that
Yes,
classic.
yes.
Wow.
Mr. Hamilton,
That's
he lives
very
here.
cool. Very cool.
He lives here in Mint Hill, and
I think Amy Sue brought him up as a guest on the show sometime. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, that was Glenwood.
Huh?
No, I didn't bring him up, but we should get him. I was
Yeah,
talking about a different artist.
Somebody may have.
Very talented artist.
Anyway, if you're out there watching, hit us up. Come on in and let's talk about.
He's made 2 original paintings for
Uh-huh.
us that we're going to auction.
Awesome. He's made 2. If she was off camera here, made 2 original paintings for the women's club that they're going to be auctioning off that night. That's wonderful. Is it a casual or a more formal soiree?
it's a little bit more formal, you know,
Nice.
dressed to impress.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. So those are some of the immediate things coming up, right?
Yep.
Okay, fabulous. Chen, I want to get a real quick word from you. And what is your involvement with the women's club? You're here for. I'm not sure of the connection. When you texted me last night and said I'll see you tomorrow, I'm like, oh, cool. I always enjoy seeing Chen. But
Jessica called me.
oh, that's really cool. I really appreciate you. Let's have you move slightly to the right. There you go. So my friend Chen, lovely man doing amazing work with his not-for-profit 1 Yard Away. We've actually, you've got to watch this little mini document. Well, I wouldn't say documentary, more like reality TV. We went out and we interviewed Chen and some of his volunteers, and we did a feature on charlottenowtelevision. You can go there and check that out. Did that earlier this year. Maybe it was late last year. I don't recall. But he's been wonderfully involved in, again, serving primarily the veterans of this community. I'll let him talk with you about that. And I'm sure secretly getting manicures from these lovely ladies at their events, right? Right? No, he said, tell us. He's like, that's my secret. That's my secret. Right? But he wears gloves when he goes out and does his lawn maintenance.
I don't want to mess them up.
Chen, tell us about what's going on at 1 Yard Away. And for those that don't know you, what you do and your involvement with it.
So I'm not really sure where to start there. We are helping people who are being affected by injury, illness, hospitalization, deployed military and disabled veterans with lawn and landscape maintenance. And it's a great opportunity also for businesses and local people to come out and give back to the community in a very real way. And you have the instant gratification of watching a yard that needs a lot of help turn into something beautiful.
That's awesome. And people that legit need it, you know, we a lot of times you're helping people. I've noticed that you wouldn't, they might be falling in the cracks in society, right? They may live in nice houses, have nice cars, hitting a really difficult time, and you wouldn't think of this family as the typical family that needs help.
Right.
But they do. Legit. I mean, one of the stories when we went out and covered that's on the video of a family lives in a nice neighborhood, but man, they got hammered because of their daughter's special needs and very expensive surgeries that came up. And you know, you get to a point where You're just overwhelmed.
And then I found out he was sick.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so he was diagnosed with lupus. He was having trouble, couldn't do lawn work for more than 15 minutes before he'd have to go take a nap for 2 hours. And that's no way to live.
No, it's not. And you might say, well, what's the big deal, right? Well, you know what? A lot of times people got the HOA writing them letters and saying, hey man, you got to get on this, and you're sitting there, you're not in a space to be able to do it, or your funds are running low. Tell us real quick here before we shift gears into your affiliation with the Women's Club. A story that touches your heart, something that in your years of doing this, about a year and a half now, right?
Almost 2 years.
That really, really, really sticks out as a success story for what you've done, and something that really has touched your heart and solidify your call to what you're doing here in the community.
I have lots of stories. One of the sad stories. Okay. So my neighbor, this is kind of how it all started. The lady across the street from me, her husband was diagnosed with cancer, and things were not going well for them. He was terminal, and as he got sicker, he was unable to do his lawn work. So I went over one day and just knocked on the door and said, hey, is there some way I can help you guys while you're recovering? And unfortunately, he didn't recover. So I helped her until she was able and willing to find another source of help.
Let's talk about how she was a member of the Women's Club, which is how we got.
Okay. So we're getting some commentary off camera here. The connection to the Women's Club it started with that client of yours that sparked your organization, and then your involvement with the Women's Club. So you identified the need in the community. Now, Jen, like many of the people here, we're talking earlier about people that have committed to their faith walk and just took that big leap, right? You had a career,
Yes.
You had a job, you're making money, and you decided, you know what? This needs to happen, and I'm the man to do it for such a time as this. You started your organization, and now you're doing this.
Yes, it got to the point where work was getting in the way of serving the community, and I couldn't do both. So I took the leap of faith again and quit my job to do this full time. And here I am, a little over a year later since I quit, and there's no looking back. It's been a blessing to serve, and I love doing it.
Yeah. Well, it shows. You talk to us about the connection with the Women's Club, and what is your involvement now besides getting manicures?
So my client.
Do you play canasta with the ladies too? No. We gotta teach you some man canasta.
So she. My client is a member of the Mint Hill Women's Club, and she invited me to come speak with them, just to tell them what I do for the community and how I could potentially serve the ladies that were in that club and their families, and anybody that they might know that, if they have aging parents or something that need that kind of help too, that I could come serve them in that capacity. They've supported me, and they've been an advocate and just putting the word out for us.
That's awesome. Jessica, I want to thank you for bringing Jen in. I wasn't aware of this affiliation. I just thought, because he's been a part of what we've been doing, I thought he was like, okay, cool, let's go check this out, right? Actually, Jen, I gotta say, we talked about this networking thing. You're the reason that I'm here at the Sunflower Club, because you were the one that introduced me to Amy Sue as somebody that would help me establish our new not-for-profit called Scion Media. We'll share that with you down the road. But you're a wealth of resources, and I appreciate you connecting me with the lovely folks here at the Sunflower Club.
I've found that being a resource is better than asking for a resource. I get more resources from being an advocate for other people and for sharing resources than I do just digging for them myself. So
That's awesome.
paying it forward by giving connections is it's the easiest way to do it.
Jessica, you got a nice big smile on your face here as you're watching him talk. Your thoughts on what he's doing? Have you had some personal experience in dealing with them, or?
No, I haven't. I just knew of one of our members that he had really blessed, and I'm just touched by the stories I hear of how he's helped other people and made such a big difference in a time of need.
Absolutely. Chen, thank you so much for coming in, man.
Say one more thing there.
Yeah. Hold on.
There's
Go ahead.
another lady that's in the Mint Hill Women's Club, and she connected me with her husband, and he comes out once a week and services lawns with us and as a volunteer, and he brings his own equipment and he comes out and just helps somebody because he sees that there is a need and how important it is to give back. So
Awesome.
that's another great connection that I've gotten through the Mint Hill Women's Club.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Chen. God bless you for what you're doing for the wonderful people of this community. oneyardway.org, right?
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure
Please
always
come
to
out.
see you, man.
Come out and volunteer with us.
Absolutely.
It's always fun.
There you go. And hey, you want to go to charlottenow.tv and check out the feature. It's actually a good, I think it's 17 minutes, 12 minutes. It really is a cool vignette, I guess, of what it is that organization does. So go check it out, charlottenow.tv. Real quick before we wrap things up here, do we have another guest?
We do.
Okay, Jet, stick around real quick. Is Jet?
I just couldn't.
No, I know you did.
No.
I wanted to introduce you to the community, though.
Okay, that's good.
You know what I mean? So let's get through our planned guests, and I just want you to say hi. And Jet's an important part of my life and what he's doing in the not-for-profit space. I'd love for you guys to learn a little bit about that. So as we're wrapping things up, maybe we can go to him for a few minutes. And thank you for coming out and your support, sir. Okay, ma'am, let's have you move a little bit closer. There you are. You are ready to go. Look at you. A star is born, right? Lovely. I love your sweater. I love your holiday sweater. Tell us who you are.
I'm Marilyn Fargo, and I'm the co-scholarship chairman for the Mint Hill Women's Club.
Ooh, scholarship.
Yes, sir.
That is fabulous. I've heard stories here of a variety of ways that you are it not just academic, but I heard something about athletic as well. Yeah, or did I miss?
In the past.
You tell us what you're doing. What are some of your scholarships that you're offering to the community, and how can people when they donate right to the women's club? Can they specifically ask that funds go for those scholarships? Do you have sponsors? Like, how does this work?
Well, basically, scholarship is the only thing in our charters and everything that we have to fund every year. That's been something that from the history has been very important to the Mint Hill Women's Club. I took over from Terry back in, I think, maybe 2006. At that time, we were doing scholarships to the two high schools. It was then Butler and Independence. We weren't getting much feedback from those schools. And also, I'm very passionate about the trades. And we weren't getting anything there because the trade kids were not going to write a thesis or a little theme why they needed the scholarship. So we went to Central Piedmont Community College, and since 2008, we've had an association with them. It's a wonderful thing for us because they actually allow us to come out and interview the applicants, which is something that I think we're probably the only people that donate to them that actually do that. Most people write a check, send it to them, and that's the way it goes. However, we go down and spend an afternoon with them and interview all the applicants. It's a one-on-one. We then know where the money's going. We really hear wonderful stories. We know we're making a difference. The other wonderful thing about it is if there's a person that comes in and they don't meet our requirements, or there's for some reason there's some little glitch that we can't give them a scholarship, because the people at CP are having a one-on-one with them, they then find other scholarship money that they fund to them. So everybody gets hooked up, and it's just marvelous. It's been a wonderful relationship, and they've been so gracious to us.
That's fabulous. Success stories that you can share with us?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I can.
We're gonna go back to you?
I can tell
Go
you
ahead.
one of the first years we did it, we had a young man who came in. He had been in a terrible automobile accident, and the people in the ER saved his life. And from that moment, and he was only like 8 or 10, he said, "I'm going to go and be a medical person. I probably want to work in an ER." He came to us. He was from a family that no one had ever gone to college. Most of them hadn't even graduated from high school. He just tugged at our heartstrings. We gave him the scholarship. We then got a letter from him that said, and I hope I can do this without getting real emotional, "Thank you so much. You are the first people who've ever believed in me that wasn't my family." So you know then that you're making a difference. And we, as a Mint Hill Women's Club, are making a tremendous difference to people in the Mint Hill community. Our scholarship only goes to Mint Hill kids. They have to be either, or not even kids, they have to have be enrolled full-time, which is 12 hours, or if they work, they have a full-time job, they have to be enrolled in 6 hours. They have to have a 3.10 GPA. So when we give them the scholarship money, we know there's a need. We also give them only half of it for the first semester. We then look to see, what are your grades? How are you doing? Are you still enrolled? And we don't then give them the second half for this.
You know, I'm glad to hear that, right? It's nice to see meritocracy at work here. You know, I mean, it was one of my frustrations when I was a teacher, and one of the reasons why I got out of it, other than moving, and I didn't continue to pursue that within the formal education system, is what have we taught our kids to the point where they don't feel like they have to work for anything, you know? So I'm glad to see that you have that sort of standard with your program.
The other thing that's really interesting too is that these kids have to, or not even kids too, because we have adults that are on a second career and
That's
they come
awesome.
in too, but they have to have an interview. They have to sit in front of a person and talk. It's not just something they're doing on their computer, and you get that personal, and some of them are so nervous. It's just incredible because they've never had to do anything like that.
You need to bring them in here. We'll take care of that. Strap them in the pilot seat and say, "Let's go." We got 15,000 people watching. You nervous now?
Yeah.
That's awesome. You know, you said you're a big advocate of the trades. I mentioned I was a teacher, but I specifically, my education and what I taught for 13 years was career and technical education, which was not just the pathway we were teaching, the technical skills that went along with that, and the business acumen, but those soft skills, like you're talking about, interview skills, communication skills. These are things so many kids these days are fundamentally missing. What is it about that pathway, and why are you so passionate about advancing those skills and promoting those trade paths?
Well, we all know we need plumbers. We all know we need auto mechanics. We need dental hygienists. We need chefs. We need all of these things. CP has a wonderful program for all of these. But again, these are the kids who are not really academic. They're not going to write something as to why I want a scholarship, but they need the money. CP finds that. They can get us hooked up to them. And we've had quite a few of those type of people that we've given the scholarship money.
We should clarify too, it's not just it's not a matter of that these young people that are, or adults for that matter, that are pursuing those trade pathways aren't intelligent enough or don't have the gumption to do that type of work.
Yeah,
that's not what they want to do in their life. That's not their exactly. And I think that's so important to recognize this idea of following one's calling, right? If you love to cook and you can make a good living at it and you can serve your community while making a good living, there are certain aspects of the academic pathways and the college the 4-year degree programs, the master's programs and whatnot that might be right for other pathways. Certainly you want your doctor to have gone to school and followed that pathway, right?
But you want your plumber and your auto mechanic too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I got, you know, I mean, there's a lot of people in the trades that are, you know, making a lot more money than I am in this, you know.
Well, one thing we're excited about, and we hope we get some applicants for that, is CP is expanding a big thing in conjunction with Duke Energy, training linemen and all the people like that. And so we're very hopeful that we'll get some of those people as well, because it sounds like a wonderful program. And like I said, we're so blessed that they let us come down and actually interview the people. We're really a small in the aspect of how much money we give and how much money they get.
Yeah.
But we're so fortunate that they let us do it, and we really get to see who we're helping, and that's wonderful to me.
That's awesome. I know personally, we're going to have to keep in touch because that's something, again, that's a big, big passion of mine. And I would love to talk with you about how we can engage with some of these young people. And I say that anybody under 30 is young to me. So, you know, I would love to help in any way that I can and help. I have an educational program focused on digital media and learning these skill sets. A lot of those folks that you're working with might be interested in engaging with us.
Yeah,
Let's do a cooking show for Charlotte now, right?
Yeah,
Something like
we
that.
had a young man who was, he did all the techno stuff up at the rafting center, Charlotte Rafting Center.
Oh, wow.
And he was one of the people that we gave a scholarship. He was a kid whose mother had been an educator all her life, and he was just like, blow it off. I don't care. He got married. He had a family, and he was like, oh, all of a sudden, you know what? I need to be able to do something to support my family.
Yeah.
And he was we gave him scholarships 2 years. He was wonderful. So we have repeat people, and we have, you know, so it's been a great association for us. And I appreciate so much all the hard work our girls do to make the money to allow us the opportunity to go down and give scholarships.
Isn't that beautiful? Well, again, I say God bless you for what you're doing for the community.
So
Thank you so much.
Believe
It is
you
a
me.
labor of love, isn't it?
It is for me.
Speaking of which, Amy Sue, real quick, you know, what you're doing, again, we say our host partner here at the Sunflower Club, Amy Sue, is an example of walking out that faith walk and serving the community and really diving in and dedicating her whole life to serving the community. And she has created this hub here. Real quick, we talk about bringing you in on a regular basis now to give us an update from the Sunflower Club. What's going on here? Do you have new art on the wall, or are there new relationships, things going on? Real quick, give us a news update about the Sunflower Club.
Well, the new art on the wall is up to the artists. We did have a chamber event at Mint Hill Arts last night, so that was fun to meet some of the artists. But they come in when they feel like they want to put something different in here. So I never know when that's going to happen. But we are doing. Did you want to talk about it tomorrow?
Yeah. Tell them about that event.
So we have a lot of different artists and artisans and people who make things and do things in here. So
Yeah, I pulled this up. You can see there's artwork
everywhere.
and there's jewelry.
There's jewelry. So people have been doing all this cute stuff for Christmas. So for the holiday shopping.
On this
we're
wall,
gonna-
you can't see it, but the whole wall is full of original artwork. And
Yeah.
your supporters can come in and actually purchase this off.
Yeah, you can purchase this stuff, and 20% goes directly into the outreach and right to the community for people that don't qualify for assistance. People like you were talking about with Chen and any of the nonprofits around here. It's always they're people who work hard and have an emergency come up, and we don't want people to have to choose between deductibles and food that week. So also the HOA comes after you if your lawn's not mowed. So it's just, we want to be able to connect people as much as we can with the help they need, no matter what it is. And you don't need to fill out 10 pages of forms and give us your tax return and your firstborn's blood type to get help. So we get to do that. And we get to do that by shopping and hanging out and drinking coffee and eating waffles and socializing. So
Yeah, and great food, great coffee here, great atmosphere. I know I am so blessed. My wife came in and felt that vibe too. We're so blessed to have you in our lives and to have this opportunity. Thank you for what you're doing for us. The partnership is wonderful. Tell us about the guests that you have lined up for us. Amy's She's my booking agent now. She just calls me up. She's like, Sam, just come and set up, and I got this person lined up, and I got that person. Then I come in, and there's like a full house here. It's easy. You make it fun. Who do you have next week for us? And then tell us about tomorrow.
Well, I don't know the exact days, but I'm trying to get Maria from Mending Strides Ranch to come in, so she'll come in and talk about her wonderful ministry in Mint Hill. I can't even, you put me on the spot for remembering, which is not my best trait, is memory. But
let's go to the short-term thing. Your short-term memory is working okay, right? You're good for tomorrow, yeah?
I'm good for tomorrow.
Okay, talk.
But I want to say if anybody's interested or watching, or I know a lot of people are connecting through the chamber and other ways, if you're interested in it, or you know a nonprofit or are a nonprofit and you just want to come in and talk about how they've benefited you or how your nonprofit could benefit the community, come in and do that, and we'll book you. And specifically, when I have my calendar, I'll tell you when that will be. But tomorrow from 10 to 2, and for any other time throughout the holidays, you can come and shop. And some of our vendors will be outside with their things. And we'll do a little holiday thing. And Sam is going to sing and play his guitar and sing. You're going to sing some carols tomorrow on the porch?
Yeah, I'm going to do like bossa nova versions of White Christmas and whatnot.
Yeah,
so I'm actually it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
We'll have a little bit of fun, do some traditional Christmas carols, and maybe some worship music. Just have a great time with it. And it's supposed to be a beautiful day, I hear, right?
Beautiful day.
So what time is the event? What time is it? 10 to 2, and what else do you got? It's just a time of socializing, or is there something else going on specifically?
No, we're just doing that. We're going to set up we'll have a big tent outside. So it's kind of like a pop-up, but it's for the people who are already vendors in here. So I'm baking some extra, if you call Rice Krispie Treats baking, I'm making some extra baked goods and things in the case for people. And we always have hot cider, hot chocolate, coffees and lattes and all kinds of fun Christmassy, wintry things to do.
Well, Amy Sue Salvatore, or do you say Salvatore? Salvatore. All right. Americanize it. I first met her, I'm like, I'm Paisan, right? But that's your married name. Are you Paisan by blood?
I was by blood, yeah.
Yeah. What was your maiden name?
Galliano.
Oh!
Yeah. Yeah, nice Irish name.
Nice Irish name, right?
Yes.
You are Paisan. That's
I am
awesome.
born and raised, yeah.
There you go. Nice. Well, thank you so much. And again, we're looking forward to coming back here next Friday. That wraps up our show today. Real quick, before we wrap it up, he wasn't on the schedule, and I am throwing him under the bus here and in the spotlight, but I want you guys to meet Jet. Jet is a fabulously talented man doing good things in the community, and I want to introduce him to you. Dude, come on.
Man, I ain't shaved. I've been dealing with the water.
You've been on the camera the whole time, dude. We can see you. Tell us about it. Who cares? Come on, man, real quick. Jet's a great guy, and I want to introduce him to you, and he'll come back when he's all shaved and he's in his gig clothes. Jet's a wonderfully talented musician doing great things, not just for our community locally, but nationwide and internationally. He's got quite a reach. And his organization is called Believers Today, and his big thing is trauma recovery, especially from violence, the plague of violence that has plagued our society and continually seems to get worse and worse. Jet, I want to do a feature on you in the future as a guest here. You can come in and wear one of your snappy outfits, but for right now, real quick, give us a quick thumbnail about Believers Today and what you're doing to identify problems and mitigate those issues in our society.
Well, basically, Believers Today has existed, I guess, over 16 years. And it started out in Japan, where I live. I've been there for over 30 years. When the tsunami hit, we started working with Samaritan's Purse and a lot of different other Billy Graham Association. We started working with them because they were going up to the tsunami areas and working with all the people there, and then they were getting secondhand trauma. So us being a music outreach organization that specializes in trauma care, and we're certified with the American Bible Society. So, a lot of the government grants and different things, they don't give it to us because we believe in God. The God does the healing. So, so I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. You keep your money. But anyway, so what? Then I decided my daughter started going back to school. She got accepted into Columbia University, in New York. So I decided to make a transition, and God told me to stop judging these kids and get back here and start working with these kids. So, I have a 1961 Greyhound bus that I'm restoring, and we're going to put a recording studio, a production facility in there. We're going to do film, the whole 9 yards, and we'll be able to go into these low-income communities and all communities, and actually work with these kids and talk about, talk about the trauma that they're dealing with, then identifying what is trauma, because a lot of people don't know what trauma is. So, and we deal with conflict resolution, anger management. We have a program called Horses for Healing, where I have horses, and so we bring kids out. I brought this young kid out yesterday, Sam, and when we use horses to show them how to also be respectful with other people's property. Okay, so a lot of kids don't know how to, they see something, they want to steal it, but that's not the way to go about it.
I just pulled up your website. You did a pretty big thing here this year, Unity Fest. Tell us about that.
Well, the Unity Fest started from a project. From a project that I did back in 1987 with I wrote a song for the Los Angeles Lakers. It was called Just Say No to Drugs. It was the Nancy Reagan campaign, that whole thing. I wrote the song. And then recently, last year, I signed a deal with HBO to get the song in Shaquille O'Neal's documentary. So the concept for me was to take the money from the royalties, which I didn't get paid in 87. God waited 36 years later to get, and it was totally amusing to me, show the sense of humor that God has, But anyway, and I'm going, okay, well, I'm going to take all this money and I'm going to put it back into the community. So the Unity Festival was to unite Mecklenburg County, Gaston County, and Cleveland County, which is where I was born in Kings Mountain, and unite those three counties together and work with these kids, work with the different organizations, churches, the whole 9 yards. And so that's when we had a festival. It was the first year, and we're going to be doing it every year. It turned out to be very nice. And I'm going to be taking 10 kids from each county into the recording studio to actually do a recording of the song. And we're already working on another song called Stop the Killing, Start the Healing. And we'd like to get you guys involved in that, and we're working with some of the schools. I don't know if you saw the news. A 14-year-old child got shot by a 19-year-old that was Derringer. Is that Derringer High School? Yeah. And we were just there working with them. So, and a lot of these teachers are dealing with a lot of trauma, So what we're trying to do now is raise funds to make a basket to give to the teachers, something that that shows appreciation to them as well, So there's a lot of things that we're doing. Like I said, we have the bus, we have the Horses for Healing, and we have the Just Say No, and we're doing a line dance. You've heard of Coyote Joe's? Yeah. Well, we got the guy who teaches line dance. His name is Mitchell Mullis, and he's going to be. See, I knew if you sit me down, we're going to be talking, man. I told you I wasn't going to do anything.
Did you really think when I sent you that text at midnight last night, like 7 o'clock this morning, I'm having my coffee, and I'm thinking, your mic's muted, dude. You can talk all you want. They're not hearing you. So, hey, and did you really think when I sent you that text at 7 o'clock this morning, hey, bro, You need to come out and check this out. It's pretty cool. Meet some new people. Click, send. Did you really think I wasn't going to put you on camera?
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You knew.
You and see, and then get on out, because that's why I left the barn. Yeah, but anyway, there's a lot of great things that we're doing, and then Sam and I and another friend of ours, Charles.
Yeah, that's an exciting
Charles.
partnership.
We're partnering together. We're going to be doing a lot of great things. We have a march going on January 16th, where we'll be marching downtown to through Marshall Park, and against all this gun violence. So I think we can, it's a community effort. So we all need to come together. We're going to have a line dance for this whole thing. Then we're going to go into these communities and shoot the video and have the parents come out of the house and join in on this line dance and bring the kids, and that's going to be the whole thing. Stop the killing, start the healing.
I love it. I love it. All right. Hey, Jet, we are going to come back to you. I want you to come by, however, sometime and co-host with me and sit, and we're going to talk in detail about all these things that we got going on. Jet Edwards, thanks so much for everything you're doing and the opportunity to work with you on these endeavors. We'll have more about that. We're very excited about our new partnership. We're going into the schools actually next Saturday and doing a big Christmas event. We'll talk about that. Real quick, Mr. Charles made mention of something he wanted us to put out in social media, and I don't recall what was that? Do you remember? He said there was something coming up that he wanted to push it out.
There's an event coming up on
the 14th,
January 16th. It's the 16th, 16th. Well, we'll be joining together to march in Marshall Park.
I know what it was.
Yeah.
It was the baskets for. He wanted us to push. How do if somebody wants to make a basket and get it out there?
Then I tell you what. Contact us. Contact me at info at Believers Today, BELIEVERSTODAY.org. Info at believerstoday.org. You can contact me directly if you want to get involved in some of these programs, and if you want to bring some kids out to enjoy the horses and healing.
Now the ladies here are raising their hands about baskets for teachers, right?
Yeah.
What were you, ladies? What were you thinking that you may be able to?
This basket.
Okay.
So yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and take that. There's a woman who comes in here since I opened, and her name is Lucy. And every couple of weeks she comes in and she brings me baskets. I've given baskets to the Mental Women's Club. And yesterday she came in and she said, I'm so happy to do this ministry with you. And I said, I don't know why we're not calling it like a basket ministry.
Right.
And so it is. It's a ministry. She brings in baskets, sometimes 10 baskets, and then I can just give them when I get the feeling to give them to somebody. And they always wind up being perfect, whoever that person is.
I'm sure.
But she makes everything in there.
Wow.
She puts the ribbons on the baskets, and she does all these beautiful things with the baskets, and it's her ministry to do the baskets. And so it'd be great to collect the things for her to put in there. Because
that would be
to support all these,
right.
people and nonprofits.
Right. And
she's met somebody from Mental Women's Club that there's a lady that gives her some things to put in the basket. So if we can get her things, and she can make you these beautiful.
That's wonderful. And what we would like to do also, maybe possibly, Sam, is get the people that donate to the parts, things to go in the basket, get them here and get someone and film so we can show at the schools that these are the people, kind of a little short, little documentary type thing where we can show them who's all involved, and helping to do this.
And give it, somebody in mind. It's
wow,
beautiful
that is wonderful. Okay.
But if you,
I'm gonna let you keep it because I got stuff all over my. But you gave it to me, so you can keep it, and I'll come back.
Okay, I'll leave it there for you. But they're beautiful.
I'm gonna come back and get it.
You should see them. They're amazing.
I'd rather for it to be in a safe.
But if she knows it's for teacher, whoever it's for, then we can gear. They're beautiful. They're just beautiful.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's great. That's a whole ministry.
That's
it's a basket ministry. So
that is good. Yeah, because a lot these teachers. I mean, they had one teacher sleeping in his car. He don't even have a car. I mean, he couldn't even, but he's dedicated to these kids.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a lot going on there, and it's all coming from trauma, and a lot of the trauma is at home, So I mean,
Let's face it,
the kids and not the families.
it's pervasive in society.
And this trickles down from a lot of things. Well, that and loss of a limb or different things. But people don't know the loss of a dream will destroy you. Especially if you feel you worked so hard for that and gotten so close, and then,
Well, guys, listen, this has been wonderful. I so appreciate this. Hey, Jessica, Amy Sue, thanks for connecting me with Jessica. This has been incredible. Look at the people that you pulled together and the stories that we told today. Absolutely so awesome. And we both wore blue. Look at that. Oh. Cute. This is great. Thanks again. Final words, we're going to give them to you. Go ahead and take us out.
Well, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for coming and sharing. And thank you for everyone that joined us today. I hope you learned something new and you're encouraged to get out and help in your community.
Awesome. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do like we do every show. I'm going to pull down the out music and we're going to stand. I'm going to turn this camera this way. We're going to stand here. And we're all going to look into the camera. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, you're watching Charlotte Now .tv. And then I want everybody to say, live at the... hold on a minute. Let me do my deep radio voice. You're going to say, live at the Sunflower Club. Got it? Can we do that? Okay, get there in front of the pastry cabinet. And I'm going to turn this camera this way. Well, let me put the wide live on. Okay, we're doing the intro. Hi! We are doing the intro for the show, and you can join us.
Her daughter works for Loaves and Fishes. Yes. I just learned that.
Oh, wow. Well, we help them too.
All right, look at that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Awesome. Did I say awesome? Hold on. Let me turn on the graphic here. All right. And we're going to do, okay, y'all ready to do this?
Ready. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Are we saying anything?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, we're doing this.
Well, we're going to just stand here and look fabulous. Okay. Let me get behind y'all because I'm taller.
Let's get
So I'll get back here.
Yes.
Go ahead. Move forward, please. Keep going. All right, there we go. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to say, you're watching Charlotte Now .tv, and then you all say, live from the Sunflower Club.
No, club.
Nice, all right? The Sunflower Club Cafe, right?
No, the Sunflower Club.
Sunflower Cup. Okay, let's just practice it. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm Ettaro. You're watching Charlotte Now .tv.
Live
from the Sunflower Club in beautiful Mint Hill, North Carolina. Okay, let's do it again. You ready? Okay. I'm Ettaro. You're watching Charlotte Now .tv.
Live from the Sunflower Club
in beautiful Mint Hill. No, thank you for joining.
To say that?
Well, it worked, didn't it? That was awesome. Woo! Yeah. All right, guys, this was fabulous. Thank you so much. Okay, so, wow.
Sam, she wants to know what your game is.
Real quick.
Oh, we have to take the live one?
Okay, so wow, what a day, what a show. That was so cool. I would say this was our best show yet as far as just, the flow of the show and the technical aspect of it. I hope it turned out okay on your end. I'm serious about this. If there is any, I really need help with this. If you're liking what you're seeing, you don't have to be a young person. If you would like to engage in the digital media arts and learn what it is that I'm doing here, I'm really doing the job of 4 people here with my mobile broadcast setup. and I could use some help. So please go to charlottenowtelevision. I will train you and give you opportunity to learn these new techniques and these new technologies and deploy them to help make your community the great place that it is, or I should say, helping grow the greatness of your community as well through the power of digital media. Again, my name is Sam Ettaro, coming to you from the Sunflower Club. This endeavor is brought to you by my production company. If you would like to engage with us and sponsor this show, you can do that by actually hiring me. We can do live professional broadcasts anywhere as long as there's good solid internet. We do video production. I do remote podcasts, like you see the podcast that you see on charlottenowtelevision. I also do that for clients. Hold virtual events, and recently been delving into web design. So contact us at Red Sea Media here in Charlotte, North Carolina, 980-355-9996 for all your digital media production needs. From the Sunflower Club in beautiful Mint Hill, my name's Ettaro. I am